Hey y'all, it's Dr. Madeline at Ridgetown Animal Clinic. We often get clients asking us questions about their kitten's first veterinary appointment. So we've written down some of these questions. I've got my assistant Taylor here to ask these questions. So Taylor, what's that first question?
Dr. Madeline, what should I expect at my first kitten's veterinary visit?
So at the first veterinary visit, your kitten's going to get a physical exam, and so this is where we're going to look at your kitten really from nose to tail, looking for any sort of congenital, genetic, developmental issues, and then also checking them out for external parasites like fleas or ticks, the quality of their coat, anything like that. We're listening to their heart and lungs just to get a good overall assessment on your kitten. We also will typically run an intestinal parasite screen, also known as a fecal, to look for those intestinal parasites known as worms. And then we will, usually at the first or second visit, get a small blood sample. We just need a few drops of blood to screen for feline leukemia virus or feline AIDS, which can be caught out in the environment as well as from their mother.
What should I ask my veterinarian at my kitten's first appointment?
Yeah, so it really is going to depend on what questions you have. Common questions that we get asked are about behavioral things, about how often and what to feed, about the vaccine protocol, heartworm, flea, tick prevention. So really what's most important to you, if this is your first time owning a kitten, we will start from the ground and work our way up and go over all of the topics. I do recommend that if you have questions, maybe write them down, because sometimes in the appointment, as we get going and talking about stuff, people will forget those questions, and I don't want to ever have someone leave without that knowledge to feel empowered when they get home.
How often does my kitten need to go to the veterinarian?
So we recommend that first visit around 5 to 6 weeks, or just whenever you adopt your kitten. And then about every 3 weeks after that, we will have them come back in for physical exam, intestinal parasite screen, and vaccinations until they're roughly about 16 to 20 weeks of age, and then it's annually thereafter.
What vaccinations does my kitten need?
Yeah, so we normally start with the feline distemper vaccine. This is their kind of respiratory complex vaccine against those respiratory diseases. And so that is one of the core vaccinations that is recommended. At the 12-week visit or after, they can have their rabies vaccine. And then we also recommend the feline leukemia vaccine for all kittens, regardless if they're going to stay inside or go outside. Just because sometimes you can say a cat might stay inside and then eventually it goes outside. So we want to make sure they're protected, as well as there are some theories out there that the kitten vaccines for feline leukemia can offer lifelong protection.
What kind of preventative care does my kitten need?
So vaccinations are going to be really important, and then we do also recommend heartworm prevention, flea and tick prevention, which we here have as a single dose topical application for all of those. It does some intestinal parasites, ear mites, etc. So it's a really great all-inclusive preventative parasite treatment. And then the vaccines, we're also doing that fecal screening as part of kind of that preventative wellness care to look for any intestinal parasites that we might need to treat with other dewormers besides the ones that we routinely use.
When should I get my kitten spayed or neutered?
So yeah, normally we'll plan on doing that around or before 6 months of age. The spaying, we want to try and catch them before they go into that first heat cycle, which is usually around 6 months. So normally after that 16 to 20 week visit, we'll go ahead and get that on the books to get scheduled. Neutering, kind of the same thing. If we wait too long, we might run into some behavioral issues with the male cats spraying, urine spraying the house environment, etc. So we want to try and catch those before those behaviors kind of set in. Okay, awesome. So I think that's all the questions we have today on your kitten's first veterinary appointment. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out.